Hello, I'm Michaelbthegamegenie, and this is my show. I wanted to do a video response to Michael B, the Game Genie, an awesome YouTuber. He just cracked over 1,000 subscribers. It actually is his year anniversary. He's technically he's at 1,200, and I want to do a video response to his top 10 NES games that he's currently playing. So I wanted to show you my list. I want to do two honorable mentions. Nemo, Dream Master, one of my favorite games from back then. I don't currently have it in my collection. Anytime I'm trying to find it, it's a little pricey or it's just not the right time. I know eventually I'll have it in my hands again. I just remember playing it at my friend's house and stuff like that, and just a lot of old nostalgic feelings with that game. And then another game, Blaster Master. If you haven't heard of it, you need to pick it up. You need to go and cop that game. It's a really good game for the NES. It's got great music, great features, and everything. Anyway, let me get to my top 10. My first game is it's actually Ninja Gaiden 2. I love this game. I think what made me fall in love with this game was the challenge. It's definitely challenging. It's definitely they continued with the series of keeping it hard, and it wasn't like it wasn't an easy game to get through, but it is it really is good. It's a side scroller platform type of game that I love. Being able to use different powers and stuff like that by just either knocking down certain things, you automatically would have a different stars or magic or whatever powers it may be. And then I just like the whole feature of being able to grip on the wall. They continued with a lot of the same features. They transitioned from the part 1 on to part 2. The next game, my number 9, I would have to say was the first game that ever turned me on to the NES. Even before I had an NES, was Super Mario Brothers. And this game is probably, to this day, it's probably sold more than 80 million copies. Don't hold me to that, but I know that there's a lot of nostalgia that goes through it. It was probably it has to be the first game that I ever completed out of all my games that I've ever had. It's just so much memories that tied in with Super Mario Brothers. The challenge at the time and the sewers and stuff like that. I guess for me, the reason why I fell in love with this game was because it was one of the first games I ever played at the arcades, even as a little child. And that's what made me want the Nintendo so bad. When I first found out that it was coming to the home consoles, I immediately wanted to go out and purchase it. The next game on my list is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I actually have the Punch-Out one, as I discussed in my old video. But I love this game. It's funny because it's the whole David and Goliath thing, where they made the little guy just this big, and then all the guys, or all the boxers that you have to challenge against, including Mike Tyson, are like monstrous in comparison. When you look at them in the screen, it's just funny to see their reactions when they're taking blows, or when he sustained many blows throughout the game. If there's any damage in between, it's just funny that all those little features were added in such an 8-bit game. Now, my next game, which is my number 7, is Tecmo Bowl. Tecmo Bowl was probably one of the first multiplayer games that I ever played on the NES. And this is a game that me, my friends, my cousins, we basically would hold down a tournament. I mean, it would just be just like the old school way that when you go to the arcades, you would put a quarter up on the slot or on the machine, and you're waiting for your turn when the battle is over amongst other competitors. But there was only 8 plays to choose from. You had your offense and your defense, but there's just so much nostalgia because at that time, certain teams were dominating, and of course, we would choose those teams that were the best teams. But man, it was all about who was the best and being able to have bragging rights, and so much stuff just ties in with Tecmo Bowl. So I was glad to add this to my collection like last year, some time ago. And then let's see, that's 10, 9, 8, 7. My number 6 is Super Mario Brothers 3. The first time I remember seeing this is WizKid. I remember that movie, and all the nostalgia behind that movie. It was building up. I guess this was like our trailer to a game. You know, now we have all these trailers that are tied into video games and building you up. We got E3. We got all these things with the internet that basically leads you up to that moment. But with the limited access of things that we had available to us at that time, that was the very first time that I saw Super Mario Bros. 3 live in effect, and I was blown away. It's not my favorite Mario. I mean, everybody has their favorite Mario. My favorite Mario of all time is Super Mario Bros. World, or Super Mario World, just because of there's so much nostalgia behind that. But Super Mario Bros. 3 for me included late nights because there's no continue. Completely playing through, learning as many secrets as possible. I learned where all the whistles were at, where all the costumes and stuff like that, and many things still at this time I'm still trying to work through. But I've beat the game on numerous occasions, and each time is fulfilling. It's not like a blasé moment, like I just beat it again. I mean, because at the end it's really challenging. There's several levels that you got to go through on World 8 in order to beat Bowser, and I just remember staying up late nights trying to beat this doggone game. So yeah, for me this game holds a special place in my heart, definitely. And then number 5 for me is Bionic Commando. I love Bionic Commando simply because it pushed me. It was a challenging game. I like the feature of being able to use a robotic arm to be able to clamp on to certain things. The first time I played this game was at the mall. Me and my best friend, we used to walk to the mall to go play this game. And that was about a 25-30 minute walk, because at that time it was at Montgomery Ward, and they used to have the Nintendo on display, so you could be able to play the Nintendo as long as you wanted to. Well, we figured out how to be able to get additional lives and continues and stuff like that to continue to play the game as long as we wanted to. But I did like the remake. I beat the remake and I loved it too. But the original still to this day holds a nostalgic place for me. So I definitely love this game. If you don't have this and you do have an NES, I would suggest putting that in your collection. My number 4, even though a lot of people have said this is not a Mario game, is Super Mario Bros. 2. Super Mario Bros. 2 holds a special place for me, so this is my number 4. The reason why is because of the multiple selection of characters. I like that you could choose between Princess, Toadstool, Mario, and Luigi. It wasn't just Mario and Luigi from part 1. You could choose from all 4 characters. Mine's in order would be Toadstool, then Mario, Princess, and then Luigi, because Luigi had those crazy legs, but he had this wild super jump. I just like Toadstool because he was fast, he was quick, he could be able to pick up things. I love Super Mario because you were able, or Super Mario Bros. 2, because this was the first time you were able to pick up things in the Mario franchise and throw things and stuff like that. And I like the little secret doors where you could drop down a little chemistry set thing and then automatically pull up a door, and it would even open up secret worlds if you dropped it on top of a pipe at the right time and find the basically a warp. My number 3, and I hope I'm not going too fast for you guys, is Adventure Island. Adventure Island, even though there is some repetitiveness, because I went through it recently, there is some repetitiveness, it still is one of my favorite games. It is definitely in my top 5. I know there's a lot of games that I have that would probably challenge this, but this is definitely one of my favorite games of all time out of NES games, because I just like the idea of the whole saving the princess idea and going through the stages and stuff like that. What made this game challenging is the continued. You had to come up with there was no continue. Much like Super Mario Bros. 3. You had to come up with the little secret, and most people don't know that at the beginning, well, on the first stage, towards the end of the stage, you have to hit that egg. There's a secret egg that you got to find towards the end of the stage. It's got the little bumblebee in there, and you got to use that bumblebee, get that bumblebee, and then when you go, anytime you die, now you'll be able to have unlimited continues, but you'll have to, I think it's, you got to hold select start and A, B or something like that, and up or left. Just look it up. But yeah, once I found that out, that helped tremendously. But this game definitely holds a special place. Anytime I have an opportunity to play it, I definitely go ahead and pop it in. But yeah, I love it. Then getting down to the nitty gritty, number 2 is Castlevania. Castlevania, I have been one of the biggest fans of Castlevania franchise, even to this day, the Lords of Shadow and stuff like that. Castlevania was definitely challenging for me. I've discovered a lot of little secrets to keep me into the game, but the big things is the music. The music is very nostalgic, is very mesmerizing, is very, it gets stuck in your head for good reasons. There's so much behind the Castlevania franchise and series. I love the challenge. I love the side-scroller platformer. The one player, it's got all the right ingredients. Everything that I love about video games. Being a platform, being a side-scroller, one-player game, single-man mission. I love that. I mean, it's just you against all these bats and vampires and all kinds of zombies and everything. And there are frustrating times in the game, but I love it. My number 1 game, if you don't know me and if you haven't watched my channel, is always and forever will be Mega Man 2. To this day, this is my favorite game of all time when it comes to the NES. It's in my top 10, or it's probably my top 5 games of all time, but Mega Man 2 was probably one of the hardest games. I remember when I first got this game at the age of 12, and that was a long time ago. But I remember when I first got this game, trying to figure out the combination of which guy to defeat first from Dr. Wily's robots. And my path that I always go, I think I go Woodman, Heatman, Airman. Let's see, what else do I do? Flashman. I don't want to take too long on thinking about it. Oh, Metal Man, and a few other, Waterman, and then I always do Quickman last. I don't know why. And then I'll go ahead and battle off through all the little extra stages that Dr. Wily sets up for us. But yeah, Mega Man 2, music, platform, the characters, every fiber of this game is a reason why I love Mega Man 2. I will love this game to the day I die, and I'll hopefully pass it on to my kids and pass on my collection. But those are my top 10. I hope I didn't take too long. Once again, congratulations, Michaelbthegamegenie. Hopefully I'll follow in your footsteps, man. You 1,000 subscribers, that's phenomenal in 1 year amount of time. But other than that, I'm LifeSpiller79, and I'm out.